If the first two episodes of Lucky were all about survival, episode 3 shifts the focus towards something even more dangerous: the truth. By the end of the hour, Lucky finally gets closer to the man who turned her entire life upside down, and while she doesn't recover the missing money, she uncovers something that could change the game completely. The episode, titled Read the Room, doesn't rely on nonstop action. Instead, it builds tension through deception, careful planning, and the constant feeling that someone is always one step behind or one step ahead. It's a slower episode than the premiere, but it quietly moves several important pieces into place for the rest of the season. The story begins with another flashback that helps us understand Lucky's complicated relationship with her father, John Armstrong. Years before the events of the series, John worked as a trusted fixer for Priscilla Masterson, and FBI agent Billy Rand was already watching him from a distance. During one of these flashbacks, Lucky warns her father that a connection with Priscilla will eventually end badly. Looking back now, it's a surprisingly prophetic moment. At the time, John probably believed he understood the rules of Priscilla's world. But Lucky could already see that people like Priscilla never truly rewarded loyalty. Eventually, everyone became disposable. That same lesson continues to shape Lucky's decisions in the present. After escaping the desert in episode 2, Lucky knows she can't keep running forever. Instead of simply hiding, she decides it's finally time to start hunting for answers herself. More specifically, she's hunting for Cary, the husband who disappeared with millions of dollars and left her take the blame. But finding Cary isn't easy. Every lead seems to disappear almost as quickly as she discovers it. Meanwhile, Agent Billy Rand is slowly piecing together Lucky's movements. Unlike previous episodes, Rand isn't charging recklessly into every situation. Instead, she's carefully reconstructing Lucky's trail one location at a time. She's always close, just never close enough. That ongoing cat-and-mouse relationship continues to be one of the strongest parts of the show. Neither woman underestimates the other, and that's what makes every near encounter so tense. Lucky eventually follows a lead that takes her to one of Priscilla's remote properties. It's immediately clear something terrible has happened there. Dutch, one of Priscilla's most dangerous enforcers, is interrogating a man named Noah. They believe Noah may have helped create fake identities connected to Cary's escape. The questioning quickly turns violent. Noah insists he doesn't know anything useful. Priscilla's people don't believe him. The interrogation ends with Noah being killed, leaving Lucky hidden nearby, forced to watch everything unfold without revealing herself. It's one of those scenes that reminds viewers just how ruthless Priscilla's organization really is. People aren't given second chances. If you're suspected of being disloyal, your fate is usually decided before the questioning even begins. Once Dutch and the others leave, Lucky carefully emerges from hiding. Rather than panic, she immediately starts searching the scene. This is where one of Lucky's greatest strengths becomes obvious once again. She notices details most people would overlook. Among Noah's belongings, she finds identification that points toward another possible lead connected to Cary. Instead of calling for help or wasting time, she quietly slips away before anyone realizes she was ever there. The episode then takes an unexpected turn when Lucky crashes a wealthy child's birthday party. At first glance, it feels completely unrelated to the larger story, but it's actually one of the cleverest sequences in the episode. Growing up under John's guidance, Lucky learned that crowded social events are full of opportunities. Flashbacks reveal John teaching her how to identify envelopes containing cash, which bags are least likely to be noticed, and how to disappear before anyone realizes something is missing. Those lessons still guide her years later. Lucky blends effortlessly into the party. She borrows what she needs. She changes her appearance. She leaves without attracting attention. It's another reminder that although viewers naturally root for Lucky, she's still a career con artist. Her skills are impressive, but they're also morally complicated. The show never pretends she's a perfect hero. Instead, it presents someone who survives by doing whatever she believes is necessary. That moral ambiguity continues throughout the episode. One particularly memorable sequence involves Lucky targeting a wealthy real estate agent. The man mistakes her vulnerability for weakness and quickly reveals himself to be both arrogant and predatory. Lucky realizes exactly what kind of person she's dealing with. rather than becoming another victim. She turns the situation around completely, pretending to be far more intoxicated than she actually is. She manipulates him into giving her access to one of his rental properties. The entire performance is incredibly convincing. It's not just acting, it's survival. By the time the man realizes he's been outplayed, Lucky already has exactly what she came for. That property turns out to be the breakthrough she's been searching for, because it's where Cary has been hiding. Before he returns, Lucky quietly searches every room. She's convinced the missing money has to be somewhere inside. Cabinets, closets, mattresses. Nothing escapes her attention. Yet despite tearing the place apart, she still can't find the cash. Instead, she discovers something arguably more important. Hidden among Cary's belongings is a bag containing a handgun and a laptop. The computer is protected by a 12-word recovery phrase, making it impossible to access immediately. Whatever information is stored inside clearly matters. Otherwise, Cary wouldn't have protected it so carefully. The discovery raises even more questions. If Cary still has a laptop, where's the money? Was the money moved somewhere else? Or is Cary working toward a completely different objective than everyone assumes? Those mysteries become the emotional center of the episode. While Lucky investigates Cary's hideout, Agent Rand continues making progress through more conventional investigative work. Security footage from a gas station confirms Lucky's recent movements, allowing the FBI to reconstruct part of her journey. Although Rand consistently arrives too late to catch her, she's steadily narrowing the gap. At the same time, another investigator named Gates uncovers an even more important clue. By tracing a recently purchased vehicle back to a fake identity, he finally identifies Cary's current location. Unfortunately for everyone involved, multiple groups now appear to be heading toward exactly the same destination. And that's where Episode 3 delivers its biggest moment. After searching the house, Lucky is still inside when Cary unexpectedly walks through the front door. For the first time since Episode 1, husband and wife finally come face to face. Neither of them expected this reunion. Neither knows whether to trust the other. And neither has any idea that even more dangerous people may already be on their way. The episode ends before either of them can explain themselves, creating one of the season's strongest cliffhangers. Overall, Episode 3 is less about explosions and chase scenes and is about positioning every major character for the conflict ahead. Lucky proves once again that she's at her best when relying on intelligence rather than force. Agent Rand edges closer to truth. Priscilla's organization grows even more ruthless, and Cary's long-awaited return promises to answer some of the season's biggest questions, while likely creating several new ones. If the first two episodes asked whether Lucky could survive on the run, Episode 3 asks a far more complicated question. Can she ever trust Cary again? After everything that's happened, that may be the hardest decision she'll have to make.